What's up, geeks and gamers? It's Jeremy coming to you with another video, another live video. And today I am in Savannah, Georgia. So, how is everyone doing today? Let me go ahead and pull up our chat. Don't know how long I'm going to be on because I'm here hanging out with my family for the weekend. So, we're going to make this a relatively short live video, probably. But I definitely wanted to see all of you and talk with all of you and see how you are all doing. So here's everybody just lighting up the chat. Love it. Love seeing all of you. Greetings, Jeremy. This is the first time I got into a stream early. Well, welcome, White Phoenix. Thank you for joining us. Aaron Freeman says, love you, dude. Love you right back, Aaron. Johnny Five says, no, daddy, not the belt. R. Kelly says, yo. Stone Loki says, what's up, Jeremy? It's, I miss Savannah. Hello. Good evening, brother. Hello, everyone. Man, it's so nice it's morning from Melbourne. So nice to join into a chat and just see all of the welcomes from all of you. It's so nice. It makes me feel so good. So I really appreciate all of you. You're all the best. So, yeah, have we crossed 52,000 subs now? Are we over 52,000? I didn't even know that. I've been on the road for the past few hours. So we're over 52K, is that right? Somebody says, damn you for keeping me up. 52K, oh wow, man, I didn't even know we hit 52K. Yes, I stole this thumbnail too. I would say my thumbnails are probably 50-50. Sometimes I make them, sometimes they're thumbnails I just find online. So yeah, mirrored again. Yeah, I mean, that's why I don't understand why it's mirrored. I'm doing this how I've always done it. I'm on my smartphone right now. So never clicked off Pornhub so fast. Oh man. Yeah, so all right, so let's talk about a few things. 1K or bust. Yeah, we're gonna, like I said, this won't be a very long video. I just wanted to kind of see all of your faces and say hello to all of you. So my wife and kid are doing something somewhere here. So let's see. We should bring Brian Greer says we should come up with a law banning SJW movies. Oh, if it was only that simple. Will Krauser, $5. Thank you so much. If only it was that simple, Brian. Yeah, I don't understand why it continues to flip-flop between mirror mode on my phone. I don't understand it. Sometimes it doesn't do it, sometimes it does. I've checked all of my settings and it's very inconsistent with how it goes. So hell if I know. So it's the rat straw for you guys today. So yeah, so I was reading an article and the projections for the second week for the Solo box office are absolutely horrible. Look, I was one of the least optimistic people about this movie. And this thing has performed so much worse than I thought was the worst it could perform. I was saying, like, hopefully this thing will finish around $700 million and that'll make Kathleen Kennedy look bad. This thing may not break $400 million worldwide. This is so bad. This is worse than anybody could have ever imagined. This is happening right now. Now, after I made my video, and is it S Gamble? That's what it is. It's S Gamble. I'm sorry. S Gamble 121682. I always say SG whatever. So it's S Gamble. Kathleen Kennedy is packing her bags. Yeah, I agree. So after I made my video about the whole John Campea, Kathleen Kennedy thing, I watched Ethan Van Sciver's, and I heard Ethan say that he thinks that she's already gone. She's already been fired. I think he's onto something, man. I really do. We've seen how she has disappeared from the public eye since The Last Jedi. I think that's a real possibility. Maybe she's just continuing to be the face where they'll prop up there every now and then, but they're never going to publicly sham her. So I think that's a really interesting topic. By the way, Lauren is not here tonight, so she wanted me to all tell you she misses you, and she will be back next week, but she is out with her family. She is going to see Solo, but she said she still hopes Kathleen Kennedy is fired, so she hopes you all enjoy that. Let's see. Terry Green says, please say Darth Venegitis, love your show. Didn't you send me this super chat a while back and I forgot it or I missed it? I believe so. So I apologize for missing that. See, you guys, I always try to remember. I try. So Cameron McGregor, Jeremy, how tall are you? Also, TLJ sucks. How tall do you think I am? That's a question. How tall do you think I am? And then I will tell you how tall I am. Take my ticket money instead of Disney having it. That's Epic Burger Man 769. Well, thank you so much, Epic Burger Man. I really appreciate that. Darth Caesar, if so, the Johnson trilogy is dead. Yes, it will be dead. It will be, and it may already be dead. And that's the beautiful part of it. It may already be dead. Daniel Payne, Daniel, you are the man. Thank you so much. Mirror comes from using face cam, I've noticed on my phone, and this money is not going to see Solo. Legends never die. Thank you. Well, see, sometimes it's inconsistent because sometimes when I do my live streaming from my front-facing phone, it doesn't show mirror mode, and other times it does. There's no consistency with how it works. All of those streams you saw before we hit the 1,000 like mark and we kept crashing, those were all the same exact way I'm doing this now, and they were never mirrored, so I don't know what's changed. Greg Miller, I think we are all doing better with Kathleen Kennedy tonight than Kathleen Kennedy tonight. Much better than Disney stockholders. Yes, 100%. I want to tell you guys something real quick. And so going back to the question, how tall am I? I am 6 foot, 6 foot flat. So just 6 foot flat, just even as could be. So so a lot of people saying 5'10", so I am 6 foot flat. YouTube needs to make super chats worldwide. I'm from Jamaica, not Mars, says Queen Sheena 1. Well, the fact that you just want to send a super chat is enough for me, Queen Sheena. You're always in the comments supportive, so I appreciate that. Ahsoka Tano says she wished she was that tall. 6 foot, 235 pounds shredded. I am 6 foot. I'm not 235 and I'm not shredded. But let's see. Okay, so someone sent me an email, and I at first I thought it was kind of crazy, and they said that I should start some type of campaign where I get all of you to donate to a fund so I can buy as many Disney shares as possible. That way I have some type of influence in the decision making that they do. And I was like, I told my wife about that. She goes, you should at least float it out there and see. So I thought it was a great email. I'll have to pull that email up, or actually no, it was a private message on Facebook, or I'm sorry, private message on YouTube. I get so many messages I can't keep up, but I will pull that up and give the person that is that originally floated that idea. I thought it was funny as hell though. Let's see. Immortal, let's see, One Mortal One. Star Wars Theory is doing an independent fan film. What does your ideal Vader film look like? Well, I am as involved with that fan film as anyone can be because he and I talk on a daily basis, and I am getting a starring role in this movie if it happens, if we get the funding. But, you know, from the things I know about this Vader fan film, this is the Vader we've all wanted to see on a live action screen. That much I can tell you. I can't give you any details. I can't say anything because out of respect for him. But if we can get this thing off the ground and get the funding, you're all going to freaking love it. It is, this is, man, he's put a lot into this. He's put a lot of time, energy, and money into this project, and he's got a lot of passion poured into it. And I really want to see this thing see the light of day. So just, I can't say anything because if I say anything, it's going to get into some of the details that I know. So I can't wait for this to happen if it happens. You see Austin McConnell's video about the worst Star Wars novel. He made fun of people who dislike The Last Jedi and said their opinion is wrong, and we should be happy we get yearly movies instead of books. I don't know who that is, but you know, there's a lot. Like, I don't know if it's just a perception thing. I feel like now that we've hit 50,000 subs on this channel, I feel like so much attention has been focused on me and Geeks and Gamers and our community right now, and it just feels like there's a lot more. People are really getting intimidated now to go, holy crap, these guys are really taking off. Ethan's, over 50,000 subs. World Class Bullshitters is nearly at 50,000 subs, and they just had a video that's almost at 1 million views. So it feels like the pressure is amping up, and people are really starting to get scared and worried. You saw Chuck Wendig earlier on Twitter complaining about YouTube people that are using this to make money and all this. It's like, no, we're telling the truth, and in return, the truth is giving us a monetary value, because that's what works, because people want to hear the truth. That's what's happening, Chuck. Carrie Westham says, did you hear about Ron Howard's retweeting a tweet that said The Last Jedi was a pile of burnt poop? I did hear about that. And I'm going to try to cover that this weekend if I can. But news just continues to come up left and right, and it's so hard to figure out what to cover and what not to cover. Rhino4563 said, Cecil is moist. Our good buddy Cecil. We love Cecil. Cecil is a national treasure, much like Ethan, but they're two different types of national treasures. Jedi Cody, G&G meetup party. If Rian Johnson or Kathleen Kennedy gets the boot, 100%. We're going to do that for Star Wars Celebration in 2019, because 2019, because I'm telling you right now, I don't think Kathleen Kennedy will make it that far. And if she don't make it that far, that means Rian Johnson ain't going to make it that far. And like I said, I think Ethan's onto something. I think she may have already been kind of, for all practical purposes, been let go, but still she's kept as the public figure for right now, because it is a PR nightmare they're facing. If they fire her, if they get rid of her, it's a PR disaster for Disney because of the way they conduct themselves. So yeah. Let's see, DC Kid 238, Jeremy, my wife and I enjoy your live streams. Keep doing what you're doing. May the force be with you. Well, thank you so much. That makes me so happy to know that you guys enjoy the content that we're providing. And so hello to you and your wife. I hope you guys are having a great night, and I'm glad that you enjoyed the live streams. Fanboy says, this could have been Fox that may have screwed it if it was under them. I mean, think about it. What do you think George Lucas sold it to? Why do you think George Lucas sold it to Disney? Man, I don't know what. I feel like I feel like there was a lot of look, man, none of us are ever going to experience what George Lucas experienced, creating the greatest thing that the world has ever seen, creating the most popular phenomenon, and then having the entire fan base turn on you. That's some psychological stuff right there that none of us can really relate to. I mean, that's like me. I created Geeks and Gamers, and what we have going on right now is amazing to me. And even with what we have, which is like nothing compared to what George Lucas created, if tomorrow you all turned on me for the next year, I mean, that would crush me. But it wouldn't be anything in the comparison to what George faced with the prequels. So I think when he sold to Disney, I think he was just done. He's like, man, I'm an old man now. I just want to be done with this. I want to put it in their hands. I don't know. That's just me speculating, but that's how I look at it. Paragilla, thank you for the super chat. Odin's movie blog, can't wait to watch the replay. Hope tonight rocks. Thank you, Odin, and I really do. I think Odin's movie blog, I think he's doing a great job over there. And so you guys go support him. He's doing a really good job, really well spoken, has really good numbers to back up what he's saying, and I really like what he's doing over there. Let's see. Trying to read through some of this stuff. Are you green lighting Lando pansexual nightlife? Let's do. S. Gamble says, with Kathleen Kennedy leaving, how does that affect Episode 9? I think it's going to have massive, massive effects all the way from the top to the bottom of Lucasfilm. I think it's going to affect the Benioff Weiss situation. I think it's going to affect the Jon Favreau series. I think it's going to affect the Rian Johnson series. It's going to affect the Boba Fett series. It's going to have so many ramifications from top to bottom that it just can, because it's not just Kathleen Kennedy leaving, because Kathleen Kennedy, when she leaves, she's leaving because literally everything this woman has put in motion is setting up to be a failure right now. Nobody is interested in Star Wars anymore. And when I say nobody, I don't mean literally every person. I mean, generally speaking, so many people are so fed up with it. They just aren't excited. The Firebird Man says, hey, Jeremy, sent you an article on Twitter from March where Hamill talks about the ending Lucas planned for episode 9. Did you see it? I didn't see your message yet, but I did see that article. I believe I covered that article here on the channel back when it came out, but I can't be for sure. I think I did, though. But I'll definitely check out what you sent me, and I appreciate that. Darth Konica says, I miss George. I have been vocal about prequel problems, but prequels were my childhood. I think George got more crap than he should. I miss him. I never gave George crap, and I'm not saying that to say, I'm sure I've said some negative things about George Lucas, but generally speaking, I always supported the prequels and took up for the prequels. Because at the end of the day, even if I didn't like some of the aspects of the prequels, when George Lucas is the only reason Star Wars exists. So if George Lucas makes a decision to change something or do something in Star Wars, that's George Lucas's right, because he created it. Rian Johnson didn't create Star Wars. Rian Johnson was supposed to come in and honor Star Wars, honor what was created before him, and he chose to try to blow it up, and that's what pisses me off. So George can do whatever he wants, but when you come into somebody else's sandbox, then you need to respect that sandbox, and that's what pisses me off. Terry Green watched that 5 Reasons Campia video. Such a shill. He said Darth Venegitis loves Star Wars. I said, yeah, like a mother who abuses her kids loves them. Yeah, she does not love Star Wars. That's the biggest joke I've ever heard. She does not love Star Wars. We have 1,000 people watching, so I want to welcome everybody that's watching. I am in Savannah, Georgia. Planning on this being a somewhat short live stream, but if we got more people flooding in here, that's cool. My wife and daughter are out. They're having some fun, so I'll join them later. This weekend, I won't be too much on YouTube. I will make a few videos. But anyway, welcome to everybody watching. Bump those likes up. Let's not get over 1,000 yet until we get close to ending, because I'm on my smartphone, so I don't know what's going to happen. Let me try to catch up on some of these super chats. Anita Sarkeesian believes the L337 theory is true. Got super offended on Twitter. I saw what she said. I saw Ethan's video about that earlier. And anytime we have an opportunity to make fun of Anita Sarkeesian, I'm okay with that. Wes Killingsworth, hey man, you're doing great. 50K plus. Yeah, thank you, Wes. Thank you to everyone too. I was just informed we were over 52,000. I didn't even know we passed 52,000, so that's just incredible. Did I just see Lando say bye? Lando, did you just say bye? I saw it on my phone there. I know you've told me this before. It's pronounced Immortal Coil. I apologize. You've told me this before, buddy, and I'm sorry about that. Immortal Coil. Rate the prequels from worst to best according to episode, and what you like most about each and what you like least. Okay, so it's easy. Revenge of the Sith, because Revenge of the Sith is my second favorite Star Wars movie of all. And I love everything about Revenge of the Sith, with a couple of critiques, you know, like she lost the will to live, little things like that. The no from Vader obviously bothers me, but overall, I love Revenge of the Sith. My favorite moment in Revenge of the Sith is the March on the Jedi Temple with the music playing. Just love that movie. I gotta make this quick. Then my next favorite is Phantom Menace, and then Attack of the Clones. Now, I think Attack of the Clones is a better movie than the Phantom Menace altogether, but Hayden Christensen's performance in Attack of the Clones is so painfully bad that it drags that movie down. But I love all of the places we go in Attack of the Clones. I love, you know, we get more of Obi-Wan and just all of that. But Hayden Christensen's performance, if he just would have been 50% better, then it would have elevated that movie substantially. He was just so bad in that movie that I can't get past it. So for that reason, that puts Attack of the Clones at the bottom for me. Clearly, Jar Jar is my least favorite part of the entire prequels. He is very, very annoying. I can't stand Jar Jar. But I love Revenge of the Sith. And I would love Attack of the Clones almost as much if it wasn't for Christensen's painfully bad performance. And no, I don't fully blame him, because George is not the greatest actor's director, but it is what it is. We got what we got. Great question, by the way. Let me see if I can catch up. Jeez, come on. You guys got so much coming in here. I'm trying to keep up. I'm gonna have to pick back up on these later, probably. So surprised and relieved to hear Campia say Kathleen Kennedy needs to step down. There is hope. Yes, there is. Look, there's two ways to look at it. Number one, it's clear. Like, this ship is sinking and people are jumping off left and right. And I completely understand that. I don't think, well, I'm not even gonna tell you what I think. I know for a fact that that's not why Jeremy Jahns made his video. Jeremy Jahns made his video because Jeremy Jahns came to that conclusion based on what he was seeing. I've talked with Jeremy about it. Jeremy is as genuine as anybody coming from this. Like I said, I wasn't the first person to start calling out Kathleen Kennedy. It took me a while. So, and a lot of people still try to hold that against me. Go, oh, you said you liked The Last Jedi when it first came out, and then you jumped on the bandwagon. No, I was trying to convince myself I liked it, and I realized I didn't like it. But Campea is a whole different ball game. He's been throwing a lot of shade, and I feel like Campea is trying to save his own brand and channel by what he's doing. Might be wrong, that's just me, that's just my opinion, seeing how he's been acting recently. But either way, there is hope, because we all know that ship is sinking. It's sinking quickly, and yeah. So 4Urbans says, hey Jeremy. Hello 4Urbans. Hologram Nunchuck says, howdy everybody. Let's see, Avon Anonymous, Savannah, nice, thank you. I just tried to get a few of those comments real quick before I get to some more super chats. Matt Brandt, what was it like to collaborate with Ivan Ortega? Ivan is amazing. You're going to be seeing more from Ivan on the Geeks and Gamers channel. I love Ivan. It was a pleasure to sit down and just let him show me some of the things that he's been working on, and the talent that this guy has. I told him he's going to be a director one day if he just would, focus on doing that. And I think if the right person can meet him and see his work, I think Ivan's going to go places. You're damn sure going to see a lot more from him on Geeks and Gamers for sure. Nerd Drama, Revenge of the Sith is in your top 3? No way, you prequel trilogy hater. Dio Brando, did you see Colin Trevorrow's newest diss at Rian Johnson? I did see him and Mark Hamill going back and forth. I retweeted all of that. Now, if there's some new updated info, I'm not familiar with that, but I did see where he and Mark Hamill were having a subtle back and forth that was taking jabs at Rian Johnson, and I thought it was absolutely beautiful. Nate Dogg Bean, Roll Tide, that's what I'm talking about. Is that New Mexico? Love the bids, boycotting Solo. Roll Tide, sir, Roll Tide, love it. Hayden, Anthony M says Hayden is so much better than Lloyd. They're both pretty bad, but I accepted Jake Lloyd in The Phantom Menace a little more because I don't know, I don't remember what came out first, but all I know is I love Jingle All the Way. And Jake Lloyd is in Jingle All the Way, I think. Isn't that Jake Lloyd? Yeah. And so, I don't know. I don't hold a kid to the same standard I hold a guy who's more so in the adulthood range of acting. So, Fanboy, like to think about it. Why do you think they Alien? Why do you think they Alien and Terminator? Maybe Fox knew what it was. Star Wars could have been suffering the same brutality as Alien did if George gave it up right away. Let me reread that one more time. Like to think about it. What do you think they Alien and Star Wars Terminator? I'm not quite sure what you're asking me. Are you talking about what they've done with those franchises? I apologize for not completely seeing what you're saying. I'll have to follow up with you on that one, Fanboy. All right, I'm way behind here. Greetings from the Netherlands. The video intros are awesome. Filoni for president. Is it possible to stream earlier? It's 3:04 a.m. here. Yes, normally I stream a few hours earlier, but I was on the road traveling with my family. But yeah, I'm definitely want to work on these stream times, and we're gonna move them around a little bit to see what works most for people. I may just stream twice a day and then continue to produce regular videos too, because I have half of you telling me you like the live streams. I have the other half of you telling me I don't like the live streams. I'd rather you just do regular videos, and I want to please everybody. Unlike Lucasfilm, I want to please all of you. So if I have to do 2 live streams a day, one in the early mornings or maybe like lunchtime and one at dinner time, I'll do that. And if I have to make regular videos that come out during those interim times, I'll do that too. Whatever I can do to please you guys. And it's impossible for me to please literally all of you, but I want to try to please as many of you as I can. So, oh man, I just lost my entire spot. So let me see if I can catch up here. Preston Mitchell, I didn't like The Last Jedi, and I thank you for being my voice. Thank you. Well, Preston, thank you, and thank you for being supportive. That's the end of the day. That's, you guys support me. You give me this platform to speak on. You've given me the platform. that's the most this is a mutual relationship here. You guys have given me a platform, and I'm going to speak on it as long as you'll allow me to have this platform, and I'm very thankful for that. Out of step with reality. Appreciate all you do, Jeremy. Thanks. Did you know Return of the Jedi was originally named Revenge of the Jedi? I did. Also, congrats on 50,000 subs. Thank you so very much. I did know that. Absolutely. Man, chat's jumping around. See, when I don't have Lauren here to help me with the chat, it just goes all over the place. Now, again, for those of you joining us, Lauren is not here. She is going to see Solo tonight, but she told me to let you all know that she does believe Kathleen Kennedy needs to be fired, just so she was making sure she was covering all those bases. Without George Lucas, we don't get characters like Gollum, Caesar, and Thanos. Jar Jar was a test dummy for those characters on film. Don't forget that. Very good point, Darth Caesar. Very good. Come on. I saw another one come in. Tyrant, please continue doing both. We engage with both. Yes, you do. You guys support both, and I appreciate that. Let's get those likes up. Let's get us up to about 700 likes, and then we'll kind of ease it out from there. Fanboy. Okay, here we go. I'm sorry I apologize for you having to send another super chat, Fanboy. I do apologize. That was not my intent. Why do you think they made Alien and Terminator the franchises? I still don't really completely understand what you're asking me. I mean, obviously, James Cameron, with Terminator, it's pretty much lived and died by his hand. When he's not involved, Terminator can't do anything. But Terminator is one of the great franchises in cinema, at least for that short run. The first Terminator movie was incredible. And T2 is still one of the greatest action films ever made. T2 has a lot of parallels with like The Dark Knight, and they feel so similar. And then obviously Alien and Aliens, which are the only two I've seen, and I was a late bloomer to Aliens and Alien actually. I watched them way past their when they came around, but I loved both of those, but the Alien franchise fell off the map. And then I don't give two craps about the Alien versus Predator and any of that. I didn't watch the most recent Alien movie with Ridley Scott returning. Prometheus I watched, but I didn't care. But I don't know, I don't, if I'm not fully understanding your question, Fanboy, shoot me an email. I will continue to dive deeper into this, and I apologize if I'm not fully completely understanding your question, but don't send another super chat. I don't want you spending more money to clarify for my stupidity. So just send me an email. I'll do it on another live stream if I can get better clarification. But you should not have to pay money because of my ignorance that I'm not understanding you. Let's see, Terry Green, do you have a day job, Jeremy, or just Geeks and Gamers? I do recently, left my day job to focus more on Geeks and Gamers. So right now, this is my primary focus right now, but none of the money is taken right now. Then I don't want to get too far into my financials. All I'll say is, I'm in a position right now where all of our money that we make at Geeks and Gamers goes right back into the website, back into the company, buying different things. I mean, because like I said, this isn't just a YouTube channel. There's a website. There's a website that we just paid for to have a dedicated server on. There's a website that we are putting a lot of money into SEO, which is search engine optimization. There is a Twitch channel. There's a podcast network. There's a lot of things we have moving, and a lot of money is getting put into this to try to build it and make it better. So yeah, there's that. Wow, let's see, Reedy Palantia, thank you for that super chat. Really appreciate that. That's really, God, man, you guys are so generous on the super chats. Voorhees67, you missed my last super chat. Okay, my bad. Let me go back and look. Sorry you guys have to send that to remind me. I hate that you're having to spend more money to tell me I missed something. I'm looking. Gotta give me a minute. See, this is what happens when Lauren's not here, so you have to all blame her. Man, where did it go? I'm looking, Voorhees. I promise you. It's so far back. There's got to be a better way to do these super chats on a phone, but What do you think of the new Star Wars Theory video? I missed that one too. New guy to it. I loved it. I shared it on Twitter. He actually sent me a message the moment right before he uploaded that, and he said you need to check this out. I checked it out and I got chills. I thought it was amazing. Voorhees, I do not see your super chat, buddy. I really don't. I'm scrolling all the way back to the top of it, and I do not. Oh, there it is. There it is. Have you ever been to Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio? No, I have not. I've never been to Ohio. So I would love to go. I've heard a lot of good things about it, but I've never ever even been to Ohio. So man, I went way back. So you guys give me a minute to catch back up, and there we go. Okay, found you now. Voorhees, I missed your super chat. That's right, Alien and Aliens are what counts. I agree. I prefer Aliens over Alien, but I know a lot of people prefer Alien. Jeremy, demand the Lord and Miller footage for Ivan to edit. Oh man, that would be so good, wouldn't it? It really would. Tony Kennedy, do you think there's any way that the sequel trilogy can be saved at this point, even if Kathleen Kennedy does go? I mean, I think I've talked about this a few times. It really comes down to one simple thing. They have to retcon Episode 8. They have to retcon Episode 8 completely and just start 9 as maybe like a bad dream, or use the Filoni, time travel element that he introduced in Rebels. That's it. But if they're just going to pick up the pieces from The Last Jedi, there's way too much work to do to fix that mess and then continue to finish out this trilogy with one movie. I find it impossible, and that's why I can't really get excited for Episode 9. And there's reports that they're going to bring back Billy D. Williams now. It's like, what? So you've killed off all the other characters that you could use for marketing, so now you're ready to bring Billy D. out there for another cheap marketing trick? I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Teresa Martin, Shimmy gave me a great performance in The Phantom Menace. She and Qui-Gon has chemistry. I know The Phantom Menace isn't perfect. I know it's not, but I find a lot of charm in The Phantom Menace. So Teresa and I are on the same page. Immortal Coil, Marvel and Star Wars are under the same umbrella. Why does the latter flounder while the former goes exponential? Kathleen Kennedy. It really comes down to that. It's Kathleen Kennedy. Look, Disney does a great job of providing their companies and their leaders the proper tools to succeed. But once they've provided those tools, those leaders still have to take those tools and succeed with them. Kevin Feige has done a fantastic job at this, a once-in-a-lifetime job at this. Then you had, I can't remember his name right now, the guy that was running Pixar, John Lasseter. You had Lasseter running Pixar, and John Lasseter did a fantastic job. In the past year, Lasseter's had to take a leave of absence over sexual harassment claims. But Lasseter did a great job. Kathleen Kennedy is a terrible president. That is really what it comes down to. The other thing you can point to is ESPN. And ESPN under Disney's ownership has been a complete disaster in the past 5 years, and the political narratives just continue to make it worse and worse. ESPN is losing their ass. But yeah, it comes down to those individual leaders, and can they maximize the tools that Disney gives them? Disney's clearly going to put you in a great position to succeed. It's up to you to take those tools and succeed with them, and Kathleen Kennedy has not done that. Not to mention, she's handed gold. I mean, it's not like Kevin Feige was handed gold. Like, yeah, Marvel's a great universe, but Iron Man wasn't an A-class, A-rate superhero when Robert Downey took that role. He was maybe a B-rate character. And Kevin Feige took all these B-rate characters and made them A-plus megastars. Kevin Feige's a genius, and Kathleen Kennedy had the greatest IP in the history of the movie business, and she failed with it. Like, it's so pathetic. What are your thoughts on the Benioff and Weiss helming a Star Wars trilogy? That's from Celtic Romulan, or Celtic Romulan. I mean, I'm excited for it based on them and based on the fact that they were showrunners for the Game of Thrones and what it could be, maybe an Old Republic style situation. But again, and I keep saying this as long as Kathleen Kennedy's in charge, but man, it's looking like she is not going to be in charge much longer. Even if she's still there and she's called the president of Lucasfilm, I just don't think she's going to be involved with any creative stuff anymore. If they're smart, they've moved this woman off the creative table completely. So yeah. Um, Man, this chat just keeps jumping around on me. I'm trying to see. Ara says, "Love your streams, dude. I always tune in. Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining." Um, Golly. Okay. Get her back. You are the worst on Super Chat by Brian Blackman. Hey, you try. It's not easy keeping up with all these comments when your comment section is jumping around because reasons. How bad is Soilo this weekend? I just saw Mahler's video on Solo. I feel better, but don't. It's looking horrible. They're saying it could be as far as a 68 to 70% drop in the second week, and that is an absolute catastrophic failure beyond the worst thing I could have imagined for this movie. I remember me and Odin's movie blog were talking about it, and I think he said it could be like a 68, 69% movie drop in the second week. And this was like early in this past week, and I'm like, no, man, because it had a small lower opening. I said, I don't think it's going to have like a massive Last Jedi drop. It's probably going to have like a 60% drop. This thing is falling so fast. It is such a catastrophic failure. So unbelievable. I can't believe how bad this movie is. All right, Hologram Nunchuck. What up with J.R. Smith's Muck Up Sports? I know, man. I'm going to make a video on the Sports Wars channel this weekend talking about that, but that is one of the great failures in the history of sports on the biggest stage, what J.R. Smith did last night. He buys into all the memes that have ever been made about him, all the alcoholic memes. Dude was just, it was so bad. It was so bad, and I thank you for bringing that up. It was so bad. If you watched that game last night, you know. J.R. Smith he was drunk. He was drunk. He's always drunk. The only reason this man's relevant is because LeBron makes him relevant. Mata Slick, I think that's how you say it. Matthias Slick. Looper just made a real reason Solo did terrible at the box office and ignored the boycott. What would you consider doing? Would you consider doing a video about media that lied? Yes, I would actually. And I probably have done I've already done a few videos kind of talking about that and how the shill media just continues to ignore the facts. But yeah, I'll check that Looper video out and maybe make a response to that. So thank you for that. Because I don't really watch Looper that much anymore, but I'll definitely check that out. Thomas Gilkey, my buddy, hey, will you be going to Star Wars Celebration next year, and will there be a Geeks and Gamers event for it? Yes, I will be at Star Wars Celebration. I'm going to be with a lot of people. There's like me, Star Wars Theory is going to be there, Ethan Van Sciver, World Class Bullshitters. I'm going to make sure Anna's there, Jesse, Lauren, a lot of the Geeks and Gamers. I don't know if we're going to get press passes. I don't know how that's going to go. I don't know if they want to give us press passes or if we're going to be paying our way. Either way is fine with me. But yes, we will be there. I don't have any details as to how we'll be there or whatever, but yes, I'm sure we can do some kind of private meetup at a restaurant or something in the area. 100%. So thank you for asking that, Thomas. Chase, no. What would you do in episode 9 to try and fix Rey's character? Wake up from a bad dream to start over from episode 8, have her train like she should have in episode 8, have her go through some really tough times, make her Luke's daughter or Obi-Wan's daughter, give her some type of connection to this mythology. And that if you can do that, at least you're off to a good start. So she needs to be trained. She needs to have some type of lineage that leads us back to the original trilogy. And we need to wake up from a bad dream in episode 8. That's the easiest way to go about it. Professor Geek, episode 9 starts with Luke exiting the cave on a Dagobah, reeling from the Last Jedi vision of a horrendous possible future. He sets out to stop it. That is beautiful. I like where you're going with that one, Professor Geek. I like it. Thor Gorum Blood Maw. It's bad. Me and my Star Wars Saga RPG group can make better stories than Kathleen Kennedy, and we're normally drunk and goofing off. Glad Solo flopped. I agree with you. Robert Bonilla, with Solo being such a failure, do you think Lucasfilm will still put out the intended sequels? No, absolutely not. Those sequels are dead. They are dead, gone. They will never see the light of day, and rightfully so. Yeah, so I had to think about that one for a minute. No, those are gone. Those are dead, and it's a beautiful thing. Renee, Gali says, "Hi Jeremy, I'm new and I wanted to ask your definition of an SJW. My husband saw me watching you and said, you know what SJW means? Women and minorities like you, right? I disagree, but how would you define your definition?" I've done this a few times. I have a video on this channel and I've also talked about it on my Twitter account. So I'm gonna make sure I'm not too far behind. So I'm gonna stay right here. Okay, so my definition of a social justice warrior is someone that does not have any pre-existing interest in something, anything. It's like me, okay? I've never cared about Twilight, okay? So it's like me taking an interest in Twilight just to push a social narrative into Twilight. That's a social justice warrior. So that's like me going, wait, we need more minorities in Twilight because I have an interest now. But the only interest I have is to push a social narrative. I never cared about Twilight before. The only reason I'm showing interest is because I see the platform Twilight has, and I see an opportunity to push my personal social justice narrative into a pre-existing franchise that has a platform that I think I can manipulate. Then once I've gotten what I want, then I move on and leave that thing to die that I've already that put my agenda into, and find something else that I didn't have a pre-existing interest in just to push a social narrative. Then once I do that, then I move on to something else. That's what I think is going on with a lot of the things right now. Star Wars is the biggest platform in media. It's the biggest platform. So what you have people doing is they're seeing opportunity. Oh, I want to push my social justice narrative into Star Wars. So I'm going to get involved with Star Wars and I'm going to, say I care about it, but they don't really care about it. So all they want to do is they want to infect their disease into something, and then as soon as they've infected it, they move on to the next prey. That's how I define it. Now, I know social justice warriors have a lot of different definitions. That's the way I define it. That's the most basic way I can define it. So, and thank you for asking. I truly don't mind. And that you are not, I would not, just because of the fact that you asked me this question in a respectful way, I would not define you as a social justice warrior, because you, first of all, you come to me. Number one, I hate that you had to spend the money to ask me that question. But you came to me respectfully and you asked for clarification. So you automatically don't qualify as a social justice warrior to me. A social justice warrior would come into this chat and start calling me a racist or a sexist because of something they think I did or didn't say. So I would automatically not qualify you as one. So that's, now again, maybe you are ultimately, but I'm just saying, based on what I know and how you've carried yourself, you carried yourself in a very respectful way, and I really appreciate that. Dwayne Morris, Kathleen Kennedy has not been heard from in days. Do you think she has been secretly fired? Ethan Van Sciver said that earlier, and I think he's onto something. I can't claim credit for that one. Ethan said it, and when Ethan said it, I'm like, holy shit, that sounds like that could be the case, because she hasn't been seen from in months. They're really keeping her secret. So, all right, I gotta wrap this up pretty soon, guys. Out of step with reality. Have you ever thought of doing live videos while you're playing Star Wars games like Knights of the Old Republic and so forth? 100%, and we're working on that. Trust me. You're gonna be seeing more of that in the future. I've got a lot of things in the future for this channel with Geeks and Gamers, not just me, with some of my other staff members. You're gonna see, Lauren's gonna be on here live streaming too. She's gonna be playing some video games, so you're gonna be seeing Lauren. But yes, 100%. Avonymous. The fact that the shills are making these real reasons it flopped videos is in itself implications of validation. I'm sorry, I can't read. Of the boycott. People don't spin or damage control if there's nothing to contain. Yeah, I mean, the fact that they are treating the boycott like it's a disease, like they can't even talk about it, it's because they're terrified to admit that they were wrong. 100% wrong, and it's hilarious, and I love seeing it, because the more they don't want to address the obvious, the more they are exposing themselves, and it's beautiful. Sorry, I can't read. My mouth is getting dry, and I'm fixing to go join my family here soon. Let's see. Darth Conicus says, Darth Conicus, I want to come to Celebration and meet you all. I feel like I found all my Star Wars friends I wish I had in elementary school. Well, come on. Bring it on, man. Come on. We're all going to be there, and it's going to be a great time. And, man, we're going to make some noise when we show up there. That's for sure. So I'm not even going to try to read your name. It's Demon Scythe. Why? Too many comments. You'll never read this out. I did, motherfucker. What now? I mean, is that supposed to intimidate me? What do you think? Like, what is that supposed to do? Is that supposed to scare me because you're making fun of me? I make fun of myself every day. I made fun of my cringeworthy intro because it's cringe as hell. My wife makes fun of me. My kid makes fun of me for my intro. So, holy shit, Alex Becker, Thank you, man. Alex, you are, man. Look, your videos are so spot on. I'm humbled, man. Says congrats on 50K. Thank you, Alex. You're an inspiration. The fact that you have taken your platform and tried to make some noise with Star Wars, and you've made a lot of noise, and I really appreciate that. And just an inspiration. A lot of the SEO stuff we're doing on the website, I've talked to some of my guys about you, and just looking at the path that you took in some of your older videos. So a true honor, sir. Thank you so much. Man, goddamn, that's amazing. I can't believe that. Oh, everybody's freaking out because Alex Becker's here now. That's awesome. I love seeing our comments light up like that. I got to wrap this up. All right, guys, no more super chats, okay? Stop with the super chats. I am so far behind. I don't want you wasting your money. I will get back on here next week. We'll do more super chats. Don't send any more because there are way too many. So I've got to try to catch up, and I don't want you guys I don't want you throwing your money at me if I can't give you what you're looking for. So there's a difference between social justice warrior and social justice warmonger. Yeah, I mean, like I said, different people have different interpretations of it. And so that's just my interpretation of it. It's just someone that has the people that are getting involved with Star Wars that can't do anything but talk about race and sex and gender, okay? I went to Star Wars Celebration last year. I talked to a lot of people. I'm a very social person when I go to places like this. I talked to a lot of people about Episode 8, about Rebels, about potential plot points, about characters, about history, about fights, about characters. Literally not one person at Star Wars Celebration brought up race or gender or what color the person was behind the fucking camera. Nobody brought it up. Do you know why? Because nobody cares. So these social justice warriors that are constantly talking about race and gender and sexual orientation, they don't go to Star Wars Celebration. They don't sleep on concrete floors to wait for 3 hours of 3 minutes of footage for a film that's coming out in a year and a half from now. They're not going to the movie theater and camping out and talking about Star Wars. They're not going to buy toys on Force Friday. They're not doing any of that stuff. So those are the people that I get upset with. If you care about social justice, like if you truly are just a person that don't want to see police brutality and all that stuff, and you want to see people, of women and people of color that get recognized in the industry, I'm fine with that, as long as you're not looking for special treatment. Because just because you're a woman, just because you're a person of color, you should not just get special treatment. You should still work for what you get. If you're working hard and you're qualified, then you should get equal recognition. I've said this before. Ryan Coogler, director for Black Panther. Ryan Coogler will always be more qualified than me. Why? Because Ryan Coogler has worked. Ryan Coogler has earned his place in his industry. And so I should never be able to walk into his industry and go, hey, I'm white, I deserve special treatment over you. No, he worked, he earned it, he's qualified. I'm not. I shouldn't be able to walk into the NBA because there's a lack of white players in the NBA. Because why? And I'm good at basketball. I've played basketball all growing up. Now I'm probably too old now to be competitive, but I'm good at basketball. But I don't deserve anything because I didn't go through the process of becoming an NBA player. So I don't deserve anything. I didn't work for it. So everybody deserves a chance as long as they're willing to work for it. Everybody. So golly, you guys are still sending super chats. Because reasons. SJW, they move into your house, they don't pay rent, and tell the owner you're a bad host. You don't clean, cook, or repair things enough. Wait, what do you want, social justice warrior? What do you do? That's good. That's good. JW says, I hated The Last Jedi, but I thought Solo wasn't too bad. Not great, but not The Last Jedi bad. Do you have any thoughts on Rian Johnson making his own trilogy? No, my only thoughts on Rian Johnson making his own trilogy is we don't want Rian Johnson making his own trilogy. I have zero desire to see it. I'll say it point blank right now. I flat out refuse to go see Rian Johnson's trilogy. I will not pay money to see his trilogy, period. End of discussion. I don't care what they bring to the table. And you know my favorite character is Ahsoka. If they bring Ahsoka into his movie, which would be, I can't even imagine how bad that would be, I would not go see it. I have no desire to support anything Rian Johnson's done. Not because of The Last Jedi. This is not just because of The Last Jedi. Again, I respect ambition. I respect when people are taking risks. Rian Johnson took a risk with The Last Jedi. I respect that. He failed, but he took a risk, and that's okay. What's not okay is the way he has responded to the criticisms by not acknowledging any of it, by calling people man babies, by being a douchebag. Now again, nothing wrong with being a douchebag in isolation, but a douchebag when you have ruined Star Wars and you have projected your ways onto the fans and trying to be a jerk, that's what I don't like, and that's what I don't appreciate. Rian Johnson can go to hell. That's all. That's where I am on that. Ivan Ortega, you racist because you white, you don't, and you don't have tacos. If you guys saw mine and Ivan's live stream the other day, you saw a lot of racial jokes. Ivan is Mexican, I'm not Mexican, and we were having fun because we're friends, and life is not that serious, man. Just have fun with each other. I don't see anything other than a good dude when I see Ivan, and Ivan just sees whatever he sees with me, but he definitely just don't see a white boy. He just sees a dude, and maybe he thinks I'm an asshole. He doesn't, but we just had fun, man. And life is too short to be caught up in identity politics. It really is. It don't matter what I do in the bedroom. It don't matter what you do in the bedroom. It don't matter what color you are. It don't matter who you voted for. It don't matter what your religion is. Do you have an interest that I have an interest in? And if we have disagreements within that interest, are we willing to have a conversation? There you go. End of discussion. That's all you need out of life right there. You guys are killing me on these super chats. Renee says, I've been loving your channel and don't mind spending my money. Thank you. I've just subscribed and can't wait to see game reviews soon. Awesome. We'll go. We do have some video game reviews on the channel from my good friend Chris Clow, who's one of the smartest people I've ever met. So if you want to go watch his God of War review, he has a couple other reviews here on the channel. Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition, and we will have more gaming reviews coming. Chris Clow is one of the smartest people you will ever meet in your life. Trust me, and he's a super nice guy. Benny Warren, can Kylo's character be fixed? Having been declawed into movies. Because first of all, I love Kylo Ren in The Force Awakens. I thought he was a fantastic character in The Force Awakens. I thought the opportunities were out of this world for Kylo Ren. Now again, I thought that the way they developed Kylo, whether it's intentional or not, I thought it projected onto the fan base. Kylo Ren, he lived in the shadow of Darth Vader, and he was very insecure because of the shadow of Darth Vader. And I feel like that's how the fans were going to perceive any new villain that comes into Star Wars. The fans were going to look at it and go, "You're not Darth Vader. He's not Darth Vader," and they're going to judge him against Vader's legacy. And that's how Kylo was in The Force Awakens. He was in Vader's shadow, and I thought, whether it was intentional or not, it didn't matter. I thought that was a really good parallel drawn between the fandom and the movies. I was okay with them killing Han Solo because I felt that it needed to get Kylo to where he needed to go throughout the rest of this trilogy. And then, again, I don't think Kylo was absolutely terrible in The Last Jedi, but I wish they wouldn't have took his mask off. And I wish that they just would have went in a different direction altogether. I don't really have a specific, which specific direction I want them to go. I just wish they wouldn't have went the direction they went. Adam Driver is a fantastic actor. So the question is, can Kylo's character be fixed? Yes, he can, but he'll never get to where they could have taken him after The Force Awakens. I mean, after The Force Awakens, again, I described this last night. J.J. Abrams was Chris Paul, and he threw an alley-oop. Rian Johnson was James Harden, and all he had to do was come in and jam it home. And instead, Rian Johnson fumbled it, dropped it, let all the air out of the ball, kicked it around, turned it into a football, and here we are. He had the perfect opportunity. Rian Johnson's an idiot. Red, Kathleen Kennedy would go out faster than an SJW robot in Solo if she showed up for Star Wars Celebration. If she shows up for Star Wars Celebration, it will be an extremely controlled environment where she will answer pre-screened questions, and there will be high security. I guarantee you that. Mad Talk TV has interesting videos where they discuss Disney buying Star Wars was mainly to push the SJW feminist ideology. If that is true, I don't think Disney will stop. They can't stop. I've seen some stuff. Mad Talk. Yeah, I know Mad Talk TV. I like Mad Talk TV. He and I have had some interactions before, and Mad Talk, and he says this before his videos, so no hate whatsoever. He throws a lot of stuff out there, and he knows what he's doing, and all love from me. I got nothing against him. So some of the stuff he's saying is his opinion, and some of the stuff he's saying is reported on. So, but Disney is not going to let Star Wars die, like, completely. They have too much invested. They're going to get this fixed. It may not happen by episode 9, but there's way too much invested. There's way too much on the line. Disney is a smart company. They will get this turned around, but it's going to take situations like what happened with Solo to get their attention. If Solo would have been a success, it would have been game over for us. We just would have had to kiss it all goodbye. But now we have real traction, and I do feel that Disney will get this fixed. It may take some time, but we are on the early path of the right track. I feel that for sure with this whole Solo situation. Let's see. Steve Bakari says, Jeremy, don't word good. I would love for you guys to try to handle all this. All right. Man, fanboy, jeez, man. Why are you sending me these super chats? You guys are crazy. I love you. I seriously do. Like I'm saying, Fox was cursed by Star Wars. They wanted to milk her. That's why they probably made Alien those other franchises. They wanted they wanted their own duplicate. They wanted the money because they couldn't have it. They probably knew it was. Well, yeah, of course they were going to milk it. I mean, you're going to do that with any franchise. And so, I'm going to read, so like I'm saying, Fox was cursed by Star Wars. Yeah, and the whole rights with Star Wars and Fox and all that, I totally get what you're saying. Damn it, fanboy, if you don't stop sending me money, though, you did not have to send me a damn 50 to repeat that. Come on, bro. And you already subscribed to our Patreon account, too, so you gotta, yeah, that's fine. I'm not going to say no to your money, but I just don't want you to feel that you have to send it. There's lag. Ruler of God said there's lag. Is there lag? I mean, I'm running off my 4G, so I hope there's not too much lag. Brandon Moist says, let's all get moist here. And moist people are down with SJWs. We want good characters, stories, not moisturized shit. Also, moist is my last name. There's We Are Chaos. What's up, Siobhan? That's our community manager with Geeks and Gamers. Brandon Moist, down as in against SJWs. Okay, so you guys finally stopped with the super chats. Thank goodness. Marlo Sebo, don't tell us what to do. I do what I want. Never mind that. I guess you didn't listen to me. And Sean Patrick Kennedy was probably already fired. All shill sites have greenlit to now bash her from Disney. Sean Patrick, you're probably spot on with that. BHF, you're a great broadcaster. Keep working from NYC Central Park North. Ben, if you're ever in Manhattan, let us know. You will be seeing me in the New York area sometime later this year, so I will let you know. Stream made more money than Solo opening weekend. That's from Red. Fanaheim, Kathleen Kennedy is the bye-bye T-she. And Lincoln Stark says Ryan Johnson equals J.R. Smith. Oh my God, that is beautiful. Lincoln Stark, that is, oh my God, that is beautiful. I'm going to screenshot that because you nailed it. Oh my Lord. We need to get a meme made with J.R. Smith and Ryan Johnson and him messing up The Last Jedi. I'm not creative enough to come up with that, but I'm throwing that idea out there to you guys. Tag me on Twitter if you can come up with something, maybe a GIF. That would be beautiful. Okay, we're caught up on the chat. So here's what we're going to do. Okay, I wanna try to get this thing up to 1,000 likes. Let's see what happens. YouTube has been telling me they're working on this situation. So let's see what happens. Let's get this thing up to 1,000 likes and let's see what happens. If it crashes, you all have a good night. And I appreciate all of you joining the chat. If it stays, then I'm going to keep talking for a little bit longer. How's that? I need to get some water, man. My mouth. Damn. Shoot me a private message on Twitter, Alex, if you don't mind. What's going to happen? What's going to happen?